You're looking at the new pool setup for this year. You can probably barely hear that noise. If I close that door entirely, it's very, very quiet. That's the new pool and filter setup. I'm very happy about it. First, let's look at the pool. Last year it was about 3.5 inches to 4 inches out of level. So this year, my brother came over and my brother-in-law, I guess, and all three of us leveled the land pretty much. So it's about 3.5 inches lower on this side now. It's about 1/2 inch out now, which is, I think, is amazing. And got it filled up. And I just got to vacuum the bottom. There's a little bit of dirt from when we installed it. We set it up. Our feet were a little dirty and such, but the actual water is crystal clear. And that's thanks to the new pool filter setup my brother and I did, which was quite a job actually. The skimmer that came with this pool just had a little tiny, like almost like a pond motor that was attached to the bottom of the skimmer. So what we had to do is we had to drill out that spot, and then I attached Hayward like a pool fitting that's meant to be a return inlet for your pool. Had a couple rubber gaskets, so we were able to attach that. That's a 1.5 inch PVC line that's flexible, running into the shed. So as you can see, it's running right now. The water just kind of swirls down into there and it gets sucked in. And then over here you can see the 1.5 inch return line that we also had to expand the hole in the pool a little bit with a razor blade, and there's the fitting, and all put together with PVC, the whole deal. So I'll show you inside the shed. So it comes in. That's from the this here is from the skimmer into a valve that's open into the pump. There you can see the pumping the basket, which is clean right now. Comes out of the pump. Of course, it's plugged into a GFI extension cord, so that would shut off if there was ever a short in electricity or anything. More PVC to the inside of this Hayward DE filter, which is currently running at only 4 pounds per square inch, which is interesting. Because by the end of it running last night, after about 4 hours, I just put the DE filter motor in. It was running at about 11 or 12 pounds. So I assumed when I turned it back on just 5 minutes ago that it would go right back up to 11. It looks like it's working its way up again, which is kind of interesting. We have a split off here that we can turn the solar heating on, which is just plastic pipe at this point. I'm actually going to turn that on right now, if I can. Which way does this go? That's the way it goes. Now, the first time we turned this on, it didn't start running through that loop, even though it's open, until we shut off a little bit of the return line. But this time it's running just fine, and the water feels warm, much warmer than the pool water. Now it's cooling down a little bit because the loop is not very big. It is in the sun though. It's going to be up on the roof there is the plan, but it still feels definitely warmer than the actual pool, so that should be a good thing. And this solar blanket makes a huge difference as well. The pool water was 52 degrees when it came out of the tap, and it's now up to 68, I think. Uh, 60, well now it's about 65. But that was the end of yesterday, it was 68, I think. So, seems to be working well. I'm surprised by the pressure. it didn't bounce right back up to where it was yesterday. It's really sitting at 4 pounds of pressure right now. So I guess maybe once you turn the filter off, pressure drops back down for a while. John, you'll like this. I realized I could screw these doors on. Obviously I didn't set this shut up myself. And these doors just fall off all the time. So I screwed them on. And now they don't fall off, which is really nice. But I'm really happy about the skimmer modifications and everything we did. This is a summer escape spool. You can see there. It came with the skimmer basket, but just a little weenie pump. This thing will circulate the whole pool volume in like an hour and a half now. And I came out, I installed some lights that magnetically stick to the side. Hard to see there. And I turned them on last night, and the water just looks crystal clear, even at night, which is a real sign of a clean pool. Because I filtered it for like 5 hours last night. The water is still much warmer than the pool water. Wow, that's awesome. It's such a small loop. It's only 100 feet of this black plastic. It's only this part here, because this is my irrigation hose for the actual garden. So I'm really happy about that. That's awesome.